I've been so alone ever since I left the tribe. That's just how it goes, guess I like the lonely vibe.
Hey guys, how's it going? As you saw in the last video, well, let me just pan on all this stuff here for a second, and then maybe we'll give you a guess of what's going on here. As you saw in the last video, I had to tow my truck home, alright? And I thought it was a head gasket. That is not the case. What really happened is it blew what's called an injector cup. So let me try and see if I can get this into focus here. Sorry. So these sleeves or injector cups sit in the head and the injector goes through in here, okay? And this is the piece that sits in the head where your combustion is. And what happened was these seals right here blew out. So this kind of lifted. So coolant is on the outside of this. The coolant passage runs through the head there. So coolant was getting past here into the cylinder and then up past these O-rings up into like the valve cover area. So that explains the white smoke out the exhaust, because it was just dumping coolant into the cylinder. And good thing I immediately pulled over, towed it home, because that could have caused a lot more damage had I had kept driving it. So I bore scoped everything in the engine bay, and all the cylinders look good still. They're not washed out. They're still, everything looks clean. There's nothing that I see as an issue. All the coolant's dried out. So because I do have to say, I did tear the whole truck down already. So you're just seeing the parts lot of all the stuff that's got to go into the truck, and what happens when you need to put injectors in your LB7. These are just precautionary, so only 2 of these blew, but I'm replacing all 8. I don't care. I'm not doing this again because this job is unbelievable. Plus it's cold outside, so I don't want to have issues. But anyway, because these are cheap, so I'm like, forget it. We're just replacing all of them. I don't care. So it's going to get all 8 of these injector cups, and I've got, these are like the Dorman ones, so they're the same. I compared, they're the same. The seals here are not. So I have all the OEM cup seals here. So I'm going to be using these orange ones on all of these injector sleeves or cups, or however you want to say it. But I'm going to be using these on these cups with green thread locker sealant around the bottom here, per what I need to re-look that up, but one of my buddies, one of my old coworkers as a technician, said that I should be doing this. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna contact him. So don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what this is for. But he says I need it. Obviously, there's red thread locker as well. So why it killed my injectors, right? So when these blew, obviously you have to take all the valve covers off and the injector lines to get and pull the injectors out to replace these. Well, I don't know when the last time injectors have been done on my truck, and so upon removal of the injector lines, they were super gross and corroded, right? And so what happens is, you could just hear it as I was unscrewing these injector lines, the fittings off of the top of the injectors. You could hear the rust and everything. And somebody's texting me, interrupting the video. You could hear all the rust. Like, basically, it was like gritty. And when I pulled this off, all of that crap and dirt fell into the. So this would be your injector for an LB7. This is the fuel in. Sorry, I don't have autofocus on this camera. So this would be your fuel in, and so when I unscrewed that, all that corrosion and grossness fell inside here. So, and it happened to like 6 of the 8 injectors, and because I don't know the history of the injectors and I don't know how old they are, I was like, you know what, we're gonna wait a couple weeks, get the money, and I ordered all 8 brand new, well, not brand new, but OEM style Bosch fuel injectors. They're really not new anymore, they're all remans, but either way, this is a basically brand new part, OEM Bosch injector from Lincoln Diesel. So I ordered all 8 of these. I also ordered OEM, GM injector lines, all 8 of them from Lincoln Diesel. So they supplied a bunch of other cool stuff. They sent me a free install kit, which valve cover gaskets, and a bunch of other seals, which was really cool. So that ran me about $2,500 for all 8 injectors and these. And I was not ready for that, considering I just bought the truck, but I was like, I'm already in the motor, I'm already this deep, I'm replacing all these anyways. I am not chancing it by running those old injectors. They're disgusting. The bottom where the fuel in was all covered in junk. So I'm not even going to bother messing around, and we're replacing it. Plus the truck had a little bit of a miss anyway, so I can tell that something was wrong. And plus a lot of these injectors as well, when I pull them, there's also a O-ring that goes right here. That seals it inside of this, and a lot of those were broken and messed up. So I'm glad I'm doing all of this. Obviously I had already bought a valve cover gasket kit before I got that in the mail too, so I really didn't know. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. I'm probably going to use the Felpro kit, because it comes with all these. These go into the valve covers as well, the bottom one I believe. So I'm probably going to use that. I had to order all new valve cover bolts, because if anybody's ever worked on LB7 before, they know that they're 5mm Allens, and pretty much every single one of mine was stripped, so I can tell somebody has been inside my motor before, and I wasn't playing around with that. I had to use an extractor bit on pretty much every single one of them, so I had to order all new ones, and I went to Merchant Auto, and they sell them where the bottom bolts are 10 mils. The upper bolts are still 5 mil Allen, but the 12 bottom bolts for the bottom valve cover are 10mm. So these are the upper valve cover bolts, whatever, being a brand new Allen key, you'll be fine. So I was like, but I want the 10mm hex bolts for the bottom valve cover, because it's so you don't strip the Allen keys out, because it's hard to get to these. So I'm glad I did that. While I was in Merchant Auto, I also ordered a fuel filter spacer and the fuel filter rebuild kit and the billet bleeder screw. I got that as well, and I'm like, well, we might as well throw in some mods as well while we're doing this. So I'm throwing a PPE boost increased valve. I mean, it's 20 bucks. Why would you not? It doesn't necessarily turn the boost up, but what that does is it fakes the feed running to the wastegate to keep the wastegate shut longer, so that you do get a little bit of increase of boost on a stock truck. Like, mind you, my truck is stock except exhaust. So all this stuff, I'm a technician. You know, you guys know I'm a technician, so I put all OEM stuff in there that I can. Obviously, I want to modify what I can modify. And that's the reason for a couple of these things, and for that, obviously. So I don't have any plans of getting a tuner anytime soon. This emptied my bank account, but you can run this boost valve on stock tune. It'll only do a couple more PSI, but it will definitely open up the truck a little bit, and you'll be good to go. When I get a tuner, I'll be able to, it'll run more, because we'll be able to add fuel, and it'll run better when I tune it, and we'll get more power out of that. But for now, we'll throw that on there, see what it does. Reasoning for intercooler pipes. When I pulled the driver's side intercooler pipe off, it had a hole in one of the corners of it, probably about the size of a quarter. It looks like it was rubbing up against something, and I wasn't buying stocks again, and I was just like, let's see what we can do. So I actually picked these up for like under 200 bucks, and these are now the passenger side pipe is already a 3-inch, the driver side is not. So these are 3-inch pipes. Now it kind of defeats the purpose, kind of doesn't, because obviously out of the turbo is 2.5 and into the Y bridge is 2.5. So I mean, what is a little more 3-inch pipe really gonna do? I don't know if it's gonna do anything for sound or not, but I know what it will do: keep the boost inside the dang intercooler. So because I mean, come on, my other ones had a hole in them, for God's sakes. So hopefully this will, I mean, hopefully I'll see I won't really see the improvement I will see out of these is going to be straight up because I'm actually going to be building boost now instead of having a massive boost leak. Well, yeah, so new fuel filter, oil, valve cover gaskets, lines, injectors, all the sleeves, all the seals, new fill filter rebuild and everything like that, intercooler pipes, PPE boost valve, all of this has to go into the truck. I'm also doing the core returns, so I will be packing up all my old injectors and returning them to Lincoln Diesel to get some money back. Dude. So yeah, I gotta get started because it's already late at night and I really need to get this thing done. I will hope to get as much video as I can doing that. I think a buddy's going to come over and record for me, but I have to focus and get this done. We're expecting snow in 3 days, and I cannot be driving the Neon in snow, especially more than like 2 inches. If that's true, if we do get that snow, I will be screwed. So I need to get this thing done. It's been in the garage for over a month now, or I think close to a month now, and I've literally only driven the truck like 200 or 300 miles, I think. And is when it broke, so it's time to get this thing fixed because I miss it. I miss heat. I miss 4-wheel drive. Time to get going. I will see you in the next one. I'll have an update video soon.